Wedding dress AITA? I got engaged in December. During that time, I was looking at ideas for venues while celebrating Xmas. My sister-in-law said, "Oh wow, those are amazing. I love those." My mom responded, "Oh, okay," and then started falling asleep. In January, my parents stated that they would help with wedding planning. In late January, I invited them to look at 3 ceremonies/reception venues. After looking at one venues, my mom was like, "Are we done yet?" In February, I invited them again to see 3 different reception venues. My mother said to us, "Jesus, again?" My parents stated they didn't want to go and so therefore went without them. In late February, I reached out to my mother about ideas of bridesmaids' gifts. My mother saw my text but didn't respond back to it in late April. In May, both my parents and I were both in the area where my venues will at. My father was like, "Oh my gosh, can I go see it?" My mother rolled her eyes at my father wanting to see it. Within the last several months, my fiancé and I have done all of the planning/payments. 2 weeks ago, I asked my mother if she had any reservations of what days she wants to go wedding dress shopping. She didn't respond to me until 4 days after I contacted her. Since I didn't hear from her, I assumed she was free and didn't really care what date. I set up the appointment 4 weeks out and let everyone know, including my mother. My mother called me later stating she can't do that date because she's celebrating my birthday that weekend at my brother's house and wanted me to cancel the dress appointment. I told her if I canceled, it would be $100 fee. Now granted, she did tell me about this weekend, but it was in October of 2023. She originally told me she wanted to celebrate my nephew's birthday at my brother's house. She said that because I would be 3 hours away, I was invited and could also celebrate my birthday too. Side note, I am the halfway point between my parents' house and my brother's house. She also let me know that my nephew wasn't going to be there either. My mother said that my nephew wasn't able to come. I told my mom why she couldn't just drive the 3-hour up to me or just adjust the date. My mother stated, "I don't want to dive up there." She then got upset and hung up. Both of my parents are retired. To my knowledge, wasn't planning anything special during that day, just hanging out at my brother's house. My father called me the next day saying I needed to apologize to my mother and that they have done everything for me all throughout my life. He said that my mom got upset with me because my aunt, my fiancé side of the family, is coming and so is my maid of honor. I told him that I also invited my bridesmaids, but they couldn't come either. I told him it wasn't personal and that my mom is still welcome to come. I sent her a text because I didn't feel safe talking over the phone. The text was, "Mom, I understand you're disappointed and upset about the change in plans around July 13th. I genuinely forgot about our earlier discussion due to the excitement of getting engaged and the busyness of planning the wedding. I've decided to keep the appointment for the wedding dress shopping for that day now because it's the only weekend my maid of honor is available, and Aunt Dolly has already purchased her tickets. If you still want to come, you're more than welcome. However, I'd appreciate it if we could all enjoy the day together without any hard feelings. I understand if you're not able to make it on July 13th with the change of plans too. Either way, I hope we can spend some time together soon." A few days ago, my mom sent me this text, so I have been encouraged by a couple people to wait to respond to your text and to let some time pass. The purpose of doing that was to allow my emotions to stabilize a bit prior to responding. In addition, I have been encouraged to be honest with you about those emotions and to share with you how I perceived your text to me and therefore allow you the opportunity to bring clarity to our conversation. So here goes. My reaction upon reading your text was to start crying. As you know, I am not one to cry. Things have to be very hard and or incredibly hurtful for me to express myself that way. In this case, it was both. I am horribly hurt because not only did you disregard as nothing my attempt at celebrating you and your dad's birthdays and all the work and effort that goes with that, but your words suggested to me that while you were intentional about inviting Aunt and your maid of honor to accompany you in wedding dress shopping, you merely suggested that I was welcome to come if I wanted. Not that you wanted me to. I was given permission to come, but not invited. That hurts, especially as I was intentional some weeks ago about sharing with you my desire to shop for your dress with you. In addition, I felt horribly insulted that you suggested that I would be anything but gracious to everyone if I did come. When have I ever not been gracious in a group or expressed hard feelings? I am at a loss as to where all of this is coming from. That text sounded intentionally hurtful toward me. I don't deserve it. I have been nothing but supportive to you guys and have tried to be as helpful as possible. I'll be honest. I just don't get it, and honestly, I didn't raise you to be mean and insensitive. I am open to chatting with you about this, but I need a couple more days to process and to deal with the pain. Give me a call next week if you want to be in further conversation. The next day, I sent her this text, Mom, I understand you're feeling hurt and upset. I want to clarify again that the wedding dress shopping date was chosen based on practical considerations, and it wasn't meant to dismiss your efforts. It's important to me that everyone present shares in the joy of this occasion. If you can join us with an open heart, I would appreciate your positive presence. However, I understand if you're unable to do so. Please let me know your decision. I hope we can find a way to move forward positively. She hasn't talked to me since I sent this message. Background information. My mother has told me always wished I was a boy because I like feminine things and she doesn't. She hates shopping with me so much that she assigned my aunt to go prom dress shopping with me. In February, my mother said to me that it was okay if she didn't invite her to wedding dress shopping. She had always described shopping as a painful experience. I know I shouldn't compare, but when my oldest brother got engaged, she threw them an engagement party and helped them with wedding planning. When my youngest brother got married, she gave her an heirloom diamond necklace which has been in our family for generations. Since being an adult, I'm currently 33, my parents haven't ever visited me. They have only ever visited me when it's an emergency, like when they needed to use the restroom really quick. I have always gotten the impression that the only time my mother cares is to prevent others thinking she is a bad mom. Am I really a shitty daughter?